All right, let's talk about getting more members. What we're going to cover today. First, we're going to ask the question. Seems like a weird question to ask, but do you really need more members? Okay, more members is one solution to a very big problem, but it's not the only solution. Secondly, if you do need more members, we're going to decide which members do you need first. A lot of the time, we have a tendency to go, I need more members, and we go for a big shotgun approach. We throw a really large net, and it doesn't really work out that well. So we're going to look at which members you need first. Then we're going to get into two very specific strategies. All right. So my goal today, I'm going to spend as little time as possible on the concepts and as much time as possible on the systems. Right. The stuff that you actually can do. You guys can go away tomorrow and you can do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. All right. I want this to be as valuable as possible. So we're going to dive straight into how we get ex-members, or as I call them, zombies, back from the dead. And then we're going to talk about building a cultural referral program, right? That's a referral program that fits into the culture of your gym seamlessly. Your members don't even know it exists. Bringing members, friends, colleagues to your gym just becomes part of the culture like every other part of your gym. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to push for it. You don't have to beg and plead members. It'll just happen. Cool? So first, do you really need more members? The number one reason that people come to me is to get more members, right? And when I ask, why do you need more members? The answer almost always is, well, we need more money. We need more revenue. I go, fantastic. More members will get you more money. All right, but it's not the only way. And for most gyms, I'll be honest, it's not even the best way to get more revenue, right? If your average client value, how much your average member spends every month between the memberships and your pro shop and your other services, if that's not where it should be, there's no point getting you more members. All right. If you have poor retention, then I will refuse to teach you how to get more members. All right. That's like if you had a member who had just a terrible, just a dog's breakfast of a squat. All right. Everything was collapsing. Would you give them more weight? Is that going to be the solution to their problem? No, there's some structural issues to work on. So if you can't keep the members you've got, it doesn't make any sense to get you more members, right? If you've got a leaky bucket, I'm not going to keep pouring water into that bucket. Right, that's insanity. And then lastly, if you have poor conversions, all right, because when we say getting you more members, I'm actually talking today about getting you more leads. Leads is a word that makes some people uncomfortable. I just want your phone to ring or your messages to ding, all right? But if you can't turn those people into members, all right, if the conversion rate from the inquiry to your intro program or your on-ramp is poor because you're not getting back to people or you're not handling those people in the way they need to be handled. And then if your on-ramp isn't converting them to members, either because your on-ramp isn't structured well, it's too long, it's too short, it's focused on the wrong movements, or you haven't identified the right outcomes, or your sales process. I don't like the word sales, by the way. I'm not going to teach you guys any sales because if you do things right, it's not necessary. But if your sales process is wrong, then again, why would I bother putting people into the top of your funnel, right? Bringing you all these leads just for you to lose those people. Because remember, I'm a coach first and a business owner second, right? And I think most of you guys probably identify like that as well. It doesn't make any sense to get these people to the point where they reach out and they say, hey, I want to get fit, I want to change my life, and I want to come to your gym to do it, and I want to pay you for the pleasure. If you don't have all of those conversion points down pat, right? If you don't have them all performing at 90% or more, right? 80+% from end to end, not only are you missing out from a business point of view, that's obvious, but you're letting those people down. You've got people, real people with real lives, with real health issues and kids that they want to see grow up. And you're letting them down by turning them away. You're not trying to turn them away, but your systems are turning them away. So if you don't have good conversions, then there's absolutely no point getting you more members. Cool. Are you ready for more members? We just discussed that, but I got excited and jumped ahead. All right, which members do we need? All right, most commonly when people say, I need more members, what's the first thing that they go for, right? The kind of the cool thing, the hot thing, at the front of your mind, or the thing that gurus have sold you on because it's what you'll pay them for, is going to be marketing, right? Paid ads, Facebook ads, social media, that kind of stuff. Problem with that is that's pretty bottom of the barrel type stuff. So we're going to have a look here. This is my terrible drawing. I should have been an artist. These are our spheres of influence. All right, these are the people in the world that we can influence the most to become part of our community. So in the middle, excuse my terrible writing. In the middle, we've got, I swear that says members. In the middle, we've got members, all right? They're already in your gym, fantastic. They can't be any more in your gym, so we're happy with those guys. Next in our sphere of influence, the people that we can easily get to become part of our community is going to be zombies, all right, or ex-members. We can call them ex-members, zombies is cooler. These are people who used to train at your facility, but for whatever reason, they left, all right? They know what you do, they like what you do, you know that they're willing to pay for what you do, so fitness is a priority in their life. Yes, they left you, but that was a while ago, and their situation, their lives, their motivations might have changed since then, all right? So they're number one because they're so close. How easy is it to get an ex-member to be a member? That's a very short journey, right? Next, we've got referrals, right? So friends of these people, friends, family, co-workers. How easy is it to get them into the gym? Relatively easy, right? They already know someone in your gym. So that first step through the door that maybe we forget how hard and scary that step is for a normal person is a little bit less hard, a little bit less scary. And then keeping that person long-term, a lot easier, right? We know how easy it is to keep people if they've got a training buddy or a friend involved. So our next sphere of influence is referrals. After that, we've got where people put a lot of time for very little outcome, which is going to be socials, right? Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, even your website. All right, now we're starting to reach out towards people who kind of know what we do, kind of maybe want what we do. There's a million reasons they might follow us or like it. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to take this jump to being a member. And then lastly, way up here, we've got paid ads. Now, if this was to scale, I'd love to be able to draw that circle. It'd be bigger than this building, all right? These people are way away from being members, all right? Just because you put an ad out and you felt like you were pretty good at the targeting and the market for that ad, we have no idea whether these people want fitness in general, especially whether they want your type of fitness, right? Whether they're in a position to pay for your type of fitness, whether they prioritize it enough to pay for your type of fitness. This is a really big, this is like trying to hunt with a shotgun in the dark. You might get lucky, you might hit something. But if you're like most boxers, you'll probably just end up spending a bunch of time and about $10,000 and you'll get a couple of members. And then if you do get these people, they were so far away, what's your chance of keeping them? Yes, you've got great coaching, great facility, great community, great culture. That's awesome. But these people still were only half interested in what you had to say in the first place. You had to run out there and tap them on the shoulder digitally and push an ad in their face, okay? So it doesn't make sense when we go, I need more members, and we start here and we're trying to get these people and drag them all the way back here. This is where boxers lose a lot of money, a lot of time, and it can be pretty disheartening. So we're going to start with our first sphere of influence, which is zombie members, our ex-members. Cool. This is a gold mine, guys. All right. I can tell you now that out of the over 1,000, 1,500 of boxers that I've worked with, maybe 1% will ever do this system and commit to it as much as it really needs to be, right? Which isn't actually that much. Because it's scary. We're going to talk about it in a second. You're going to have to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to change your mindset a little bit. But the people that do universally get results. Cool? Very recently, we had one box owner with a relatively small, not particularly old box, because those two things matter. And in, I think it was June this year, she got back 31 ex-members in 4 weeks, and she did it sitting in her backyard, and she had, I think it was a 2-year-old and a 14-month-old. All right, she didn't even step in the gym to do any of this. Didn't do any paid ads, didn't spend any money, just got a little bit out of her comfort zone, and in 1 month grew by 31 ex-members. And let's be clear, these members become members like that, right? There's no back and forth through email or messenger trying to see what time works for them and whether it's right. There's no babying them through the on-ramp program and going, man, I hope this is for them. I hope they don't get scared. I hope they don't get sore. There's no 60 or 90-day period where you go, oof, are they going to realize that maybe this isn't the community for them, or that they thought it was sexy and exciting like the games and now it's actually real and it's kicking their ass a little bit, right? And most importantly, from a business point of view, those ex-members started paying today. There was no weeks to try and get them in and then more weeks to try and get them on the on-ramp, and then they started paying, right? We had one box in South Africa. I think he only sent out 14 messages, which is really, really low. Too low. But in that first day, 14 messages, he got 7 people back signed up that night. All right, that's now, you won't get a 50% conversion rate. That's exceptional. But imagine what 7 new signups in one day from 15 minutes, maybe half an hour to an hour's worth of work, right? What would 31 new members that joined like that and fit into your community and culture, what would that do to your gym? What would that do to your revenue stream tomorrow? Would that be decent? Yes? No? Yeah, cool. I like nodding heads. All right. So how do we do it? Like I said, I want to get straight into the step 1, step 2, step 3. Please take notes. There are no handouts. We're all adults. It's on you to do this yourself. Step 1, we need to get our mind right. All right. The biggest thing, and I could see as soon as I said ex-members, I love this part. As soon as I said you're going to reach out to your ex-members, I saw a good number of you guys tense up in the shoulders. I saw some arms cross. Right? I saw some shuffling in the chair. And it's because it's uncomfortable, right? We call this the ex-girlfriend factor or the ex-boyfriend factor, right? We have a relationship with our members. That's what makes this special. That's what makes our gym special. But that also means that when they leave, it hurts, right? Who here feels a bit of a hit in the chest every time a member leaves, right? If you don't, it might be time to walk away, right? It sucks, but that's just part and parcel. We love when they're here. It hurts when they leave. So the idea of reaching out to them and saying, hey, do you want to come back? That's kind of like bumping into an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend at the shops and saying, do you want to go on a date again? Like that's a shot. That is props to you if you do that. That's a shot in the dark. But what you need to understand is something really, really important. 2 things. Number 1, you're not that important, all right? And I know that's hard to hear, but your gym is everything to you. And it feels like it's everything to your members, but to most of your members, it's a couple hours a week. It's a really great place they get to go, but it doesn't even come close to their work or their family or personal issues they've got with friends, family, or stuff they're going through mentally, right? Or what's going on in the world at large, right? It's awesome that this is a big part of our life, but it's not that big a part of their life always, okay? And we have to respect that. Don't get too kind of in your own head and think that we're more important than we are. So it might be awkward for us to see them, but it's probably not the same the other way around. For them, it's, oh, hey, there's Coach. And they probably have a lot more positive memories about you than you do about them. Your main memory is that day they came in and said, I want to quit. And you went, oh, that hurts. Their memories about you and your gym are the community and the life changes that they made and all the positive stuff, right? The second thing we need to realize is people's lives change, right? Just because this member left 2 years ago, they got a new job, and that new job and kids and a whole bunch of stuff was going on in their life, and it was too much doing classes. They weren't coming. I'm going to have to cancel my membership. Well, that might have changed, right? Where they were mentally might have changed. Where they were financially might have changed. Whatever the reason it was for them quitting 6 months, 2 years, however long ago, has almost certainly changed. So just because they had a reason to leave doesn't mean that reason is still present. Cool? You've got to get through those 2 things. Lastly, you've got to get comfortable shooting your shot. Those ex-members, they can't be any more ex-members than they already are. You can either go from 0 to 1 or you can stay at 0, but you can't go backwards, all right? You say, hey, do you want to come back? And they go, no. You go, okay. And you move on, right? They can't go any further than that. Or you say, do you want to come back? And they go, yes. And you go, brilliant. How good's that? Right? But you cannot lose. There is no losing. You're not going to put any money into this system. Right? You're just going to put time. And if you get really good at it, you're going to put between 20 and 30 seconds per member into this system. All right? So you've got to get your mind right. All right, let's get into the practical. Step number 1, you're going to curate your list. All right? You're going to jump into your member management system or your paper files or whatever you've got, and you're going to print off a list of every single ex-member that you've ever had. Now make sure you've got a box of tissues handy because this is going to be pretty depressing, all right? If you've got 250 members, you've been open for 10 years, this list is probably going to be over 1,000, right? Now, I want that to hurt. I want you to look at that and go, oh, look, cool, a list of people we've let down, all right? And that sucks, and I know that's brutal, but that's a list of people that came to you, and then something happened, and they left. Now, again, it probably was something external, but we should always try and take responsibility for that, all right? Now I'm going to go through that list, and I'm going to cross out with a red pen only the people you will never accept back into your gym, all right? The people who were toxic or cancerous to your community, the people who, you were happy to see them leave, don't let the door hit you on the way out type stuff, all right? If that list is 1,000 people, maybe you might cross off, not the list of people you want to leave. If your full list is 1,000 people, you might cross off 10. Realistically, it's not that many people. Most of your members were great people, right? And that's all we're going to cross off. That member that left to move to London for a job, they stay on the list. That member that you know is training somewhere else, they stay on the list. That member that left because you screwed up, they stay on the list. Everybody stays on the list. Why would I leave someone who's obviously moved to another country? I can stalk them on Instagram right now and see they're not on this continent anymore. Why would I bother doing this? Because it's going to take you 20 to 30 seconds to reach out to them. It's going to be a feel-good thing. This is not going to be a business pitch. You're going to do it the right way. I'll show you in a second. And lastly, just because they've moved or are training at another box doesn't mean that they don't still have friends, family, co-workers that still live in your area, all right? Remember, maybe you don't get them back in, but maybe this turns into a long-term referral. They come home for Christmas, they're hanging out with their family, their brother-in-law says, man, I'm getting fat, I need to do something about my life. And they go, oh, well, you got to go see the guys down at CrossFit ABC. He shot me a message the other day, reminded me how amazing they are. And we've seen this over the last decade and a bit, time and time again. You see these little kind of follow the dot referrals that come from this one message. Cool. So we're going to curate the list. You've gone through, be really self-aware here, guys, right? You're going to go through that list and you're going to want to cross a lot of names off. Most of those names, it's going to be the insecurity of, I don't want to message them. I don't think they like me anymore. I saw them at the shops the other day and they didn't even say hello to me. Who cares, right? You've got to shoot your shot. You have to get uncomfortable for this to work. All right, I've got my list. I'm going to go back 6 months. All right, anyone who's quit in the last 6 months, leave them alone. Respect their decision to quit. All right, they decide to leave, cool. I'm not going to be a pain in the ass for those people. Everybody else, you're going to send them a video message. Now, up to this point, this is where I usually get a hand raise, or I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking this, going, cool story, Ty. We've tried this before. We've reached out to ex-members. We sent a mass email. We got like 2 people back. The problem wasn't the concept of reaching out to ex-members. The problem was the execution, all right? If you want to tell these ex-members, hey, you're special, I miss you, I want you back, an email, a clearly mass email, is probably not the way to do it, all right? So we're going to take the time. We're going to find the best media we can that's going to connect with someone in the best way we can, that's going to remind them why they miss you, why they miss the community, and why they need to get back into training, and we're going to use that. And that's video messages. All right. Now, before someone says, Ty, this might work in America or the UK, but we don't do we don't do video messages in the Nordic countries. Great. Awesome. More of a reason to do it. I want this to stand out. I don't want this to be an email that they're going to go, oh, cool, I'll read that never. Or a message that they're going to look at and go, I'll reply to that tonight. I want this to be something that is rich media, where they can see your face, hear your voice, and when you say, we'd love to have you back, they believe it because they can hear it, right? But I don't want to bother them, right? I don't want to do a phone call, because a phone call, it's 2023, phone calls are kind of rude at this point. You're reaching out to people and saying, stop what you're doing and listen to me. I want them to hear me and feel me, but I want them to do it at their own convenience, right? So if it's not normal or popular to do video messages, more the reason to do them. Excuse me. So you're going to send each one of these people a video message. It's going to have 3 parts. The first part is going to be, you're going to connect with them again as a coach, not as a business owner, right? Not as a marketer trying to get people back, but just as a coach. The second part is going to be the invitation, all right? And the third part is going to be what we call a spear question, right? Which is a question that gets them to reply. So an example of this, let's see how smooth this goes. An example of this video message, where's my phone? Hey, Johnny, hope you're well, man. It's Coach Ty here. It's been forever. I was just talking to the other coaches and we were talking about how amazing it was having you in. And I thought I might reach out and see if you ever want to come back. I don't know if if you want to come back and try a couple of weeks free, or if you're feeling a little bit rusty, then maybe you want to do a one-on-one session. Look, whatever you need to come back in, we would love to have you back in. We miss your face. But let me know. How are you doing? How's the family doing? How's training going? And I'll hear from you soon. And then you go to the next person on the list and you say the same thing again and again and again, and try not to sound robotic after you've done it 1,000 times. So the 3 parts of that message that I clumsily stumbled through. First one is connecting with them. All right. Notice I said, hey, it's Coach Ty. It's not, hey, it's Ty, owner of CrossFit ABC. That sets a very business relationship. I want them to remember me as the coach. Now, by the way, if they never met you, maybe you took ownership after they left, or you weren't their main coach, doesn't matter. All right, you just do this anyway. Your chances of conversion drop a little bit, but it's still worth a shot. So I reach out, I connect with them as a coach. The more you know about them, the better. If you know their dog's name, if you remember that they quit because they just had kids and it was a lot, whatever personal information you can put in there, that you want to inject it as much as possible. I want this to be as much the opposite of an automated just mass email as possible. So that's part 1. Connect with them as a coach, real quick. Number 2 is the invitation or the anti-offer, right? What I don't want to do here is say, so if you're ready to come back for a limited time only, you can get 2 weeks free, and not 1, but 2 personal trainings. You immediately lose them, and they'll probably be pissed off because you kind of tricked them with the nice coach part at the beginning, and then you tried to hit them with the sales. You're going to have the same offer the whole time, whatever it is, like 2 weeks for free, one-on-one, skill session, whatever you decide. You're going to keep it the same for almost the whole time, but you're going to sell it like you've just thought of it. I want it to be a real classic. They should think that we were just chatting and go, oh, we haven't seen Jono in forever. Let's send him a voice message real quick, right? It should feel impromptu. With that in itself takes a little bit of practice, but don't worry, you've got 1,000 people on your list. You'll have plenty of people to practice on, all right? And then lastly is the SPEAR question. SPEAR stands for short, personal, expecting a response, all right? Do not leave this video message open-ended. Hopefully I hear from you soon. You won't hear from them soon. There's no reason, there's no expectation to hear back from them, all right? You've just it's a one-way message, and they really don't have a lot of expectation to get back to you. I want to finish it in a way where they feel responsible. They feel like it's polite for them to get back to me, right? And the easiest question here is, so let me know. I'd love to know, how's training going? All right, number 1, how's training going? That's a very easy, soft question for them to answer. But also, how's training probably going? It's probably not, right? How was training going when they were at your gym? That's pretty good, right? So I'm causing them to have a bit of a callback to, how's training going? Well, you're sitting on your couch eating Cheetos right now, so probably not great. But remember how it was going when you're at our gym and you had community and you're bulky and it was awesome? Come back in. So that's the 3 parts to the zombie member video. All right, number 1, reach out and just connect them. Don't try and strategize this too much, by the way, guys. Just if you try and strategize it too much, it's going to come off clunky, or it's going to come off really polished. Does anyone here have a background in like television, media, or radio? Yeah? Okay, you don't do this. All right, if you're good at being in front of the camera, you probably shouldn't do this because you don't want it to be polished. You don't want it to be smooth. You want ums and ahs. You want the dog to bark halfway through, all right? When I do this, or when I recommend people do this as well, walk around the gym, all right? Make it look like you just thought about it. Don't sit in front of your logo behind you with perfect lighting, right, and makeup on, right? It needs to feel organic. And by the way, who here either has or would just reach out to a member or an ex-member randomly and be like, hey dude, how you doing? Yeah, right? Is this just a normal thing to do? Yeah. That's all good systems are. We're taking the right thing to do, and we're just building a structure and a schedule around it, right? We're not trying to do anything crazy. I just want to take the thing that you probably know you should do anyway and just make sure that it happens all the time without failure. Cool. Quick show of hands, and again, lock those elbows out, do it properly. Who here feels uncomfortable doing video messages? Who here, when I said you're going to send video messages, went a little bit, oh. All right, yeah, good, awesome, all right? Now, here's the decision you have to make, all right? Would you rather be uncomfortable or would you rather your business struggle? That's it. If all it takes for you to give up on growing your business is that you feel a little bit icky sending video messages, all right, just do yourself a favor, walk away now, sell your shit on eBay, all right? Your life will be better for it. This is just discomfort. I'm not asking you to put money out there. I'm not asking you to cut a limb off. I'm asking you to just get a little bit uncomfortable, do a video message to people that you haven't seen in a while. That's it, all right? And that 31 members in 4 weeks, that is our record right now. It's not a great record. I think it can be beaten pretty easily, but it's not unusual either, all right? It's pretty regular that we have people get 20 plus people from these over 4 to 6 weeks. Yes?
But how many does he go?
So I know that her gym is, I said I wasn't going to take questions. Damn it, you tricked me. So her gym is 4 years old, and she's got less than 200 members. So her list, I don't know how long her list was, but it'd be in the hundreds for sure. Yeah, most people have a lot longer list. So why did she win? Number one, consistency. She just, every day, 5 days a week, 15 minutes a day in the backyard while she had a cup of tea, she just did it and did it and did it and did it. The people who lose are the ones who do 50 in a day, which is great, and then they just never do it again, right? They drop off, they get uncomfortable. At the end.
Sure.
Okay, real quick, go.
Is there like a preferred media you want to do this on?
Great question. Yes. Whatever. However you get them to it, right? Yeah, no, it is a good question because that's a block, right? I want to do this, but WhatsApp, Facebook, right? How do I do? I don't care if you record a VHS, strap it to a pigeon and send it to their house, all right? If you want this member back, we just do it, figure it out. But yeah, that's one that holds people up a lot, yeah? Just give it a go. Good question. All right, lastly, we're not done yet. It feels like we're done. It feels like, yes, I did the damn thing. But the fortune is in the follow-up, all right? The majority of people will not get back to you. Do not expect that you're going to do this for 3 days and your phone's going to blow up and you're going to have to expand the gym because you got 30 members in 2 hours, right? You're going to have to follow up. People are busy. They've got lives. They see the message. They get the message. You know, how often do you get a message from someone close to you and go, oh, I'll reply to that tonight? And then 3 days later, they've got to do the passive-aggressive double tap just so that they remind you that they're still alive. All right? You have to follow up with people. When we follow up, we do back off a little bit. All right? I don't want to see 8 video messages over 2 weeks to these people. That's super aggressive. It'll probably work, but it's pretty aggressive. So the first one is a video message. The second one is a voice message. The third one is a text message, and then you leave them alone. Now, is 3 messages too much? Who cares? They're not your members, right? Remember I said you can't lose, right? If you're worried about bothering them to the point where they never come back, they were never coming back. You've not lost anybody. And if you do this properly and you're polite about it, and by the way, your insecurities of doing this will make you polite about it. It's almost impossible to get you to go too hard on this. As long as you're polite and kind of light-handed about it, these follow-ups will not upset anyone. And it's not uncommon to get the majority of your people on the 3rd follow-up. Right? And usually we do 1 today, the first message today, the next message in 4 days, the next message in 3 days, and then we leave them alone. Right? And then we back off for 6 months, and then we break the list out again and we go again. Because they've changed, everything's changed just like before.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, certainly. The schedule? Yeah, so 1 message today, the next one, so the voice message in 4 days, and then the 3rd one in 3 days. Or 2 days, 4 days, 7 days, 8 days, doesn't matter, right? There is no exact math or science to this. What matters is that you follow up. Cool. And that's how we get zombie members back, right? Like I said, the most boxes, it breaks my heart, will tell me to my face, Ty, if we don't get more members, we're going to shut the doors, I'm going to lose my house, my wife's going to leave me, right? We've had some fun. This is the reality of my job, right? Shit gets real serious real quick sometimes. I can't get those people to do this, right? Because it's uncomfortable. Do you know how much of a tragedy that is to you, to your family, to your coaches who are going to lose their job and your members who are going to lose their community? Print the list, send some messages, follow up, get more members. It's that easy. Cool. If you've got any questions, write them down. I think we're on track to have a little Q&A at the end. All right, next up. So that's one way we're going to get members, right? We've gone for our first sphere of influence. We've got them back. Life is good. Now we're going to go for our next sphere of influence, which is our referrals. The zombie members is kind of a project, right? You will end up doing it every single week ongoing, but in the beginning you've got this big list. It's going to be a bit of a project, right? Referrals, this is every single week, right? If you want to know the overall health of your community and therefore your business, have a look at your referrals. If you're not getting referrals, something's wrong, right? We call referrals the canary in the mine. If you're not getting enough referrals, that canary's dead, right? You got a gas leak, something's about to blow up. All right? If your members aren't happy enough with your service to tell their friends, and by the way, there's a lot of people that I'm willing to take this service. Maybe the coaching is great, but the off-the-floor service isn't great. That's all right for me, but am I willing to put my reputation on the line and bring my friends or coworkers in here? Probably not. So if you don't have good referrals, that's a massive issue, right? That's one of our biggest kind of health checks for gyms. But also, it can just be the structure of your referrals, right? Your members might not know how to do it, or the process to do it might be too convoluted. So what I want is a referral process that just works, right? It works every month. You're not going to push it. Your members won't even know there's a system. It'll happen all in the back end. And all I'm going to do here, guys, is, like I said before, I'm going to find out the right thing to do, both from a business and just from a human point of view. And then I'm going to systematize it, schedule it, and now that experience is guaranteed. Cool. So record, again, this isn't high enough, right? I want these numbers to be way higher, but it's not a bad jump. 18 referrals in 1 week. Again, it's not uncommon, especially when you first implement this, you give your members permission and you really open it up. It's not uncommon to get pretty close to this as well. Again, what would 18 new members who fit right into your community, they already have someone to train with, retention's going to be high, what would that do to your business in 1 week? Pretty cool stuff. All right, so how do we do this? Number one, simplify the process. All right, a lot of the time, if you're not getting enough referrals, it's not that your members aren't happy with you or the coaching or the cleanliness of the bathrooms. It might just be that they don't know what to do, or they know what to do, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. All right, so I always like to think, if we're at a barbecue and I'm wearing a CrossFit ABC shirt, or you're wearing a CrossFit ABC shirt, and I say, oh, I've always wanted to try CrossFit. What's it all about? Oh, that sounds interesting. Like, what do I do? How do I get started? And you go, oh, it's really easy. You just go to the website, scan this QR code, submit this 400 question form, and then you go through here, you do a little bit of a dance, you jump through some hoops of fire, and then you walk through the door, you trial a truck. I checked out, I'm thinking about the chicken wings already, right? I'm out of here. I want it to be as easy as possible for you to tell me what to do. And so the process needs to be as easy as possible, all right? I need it to be as simple as, oh yeah, you can try a free class Monday, Wednesday, or Fridays at 6:30 p.m. That's all I need to know, all right? Or you can, if it is a website, you can go to crossfitabc.com/free, right? I want you to look at it, break down, you can do this today over your break, break down the steps that someone would need to do to get into your gym just for the first time. And the more friction there is there, the less likely they're going to do this. So that's step number one, is look at your process and ask, is this really that simple? We call it a slippery system, right? Someone should just have to take the first step, and then they should slip straight into your gym, right? It should be easy, right? Next, educate your members. Again, if I met one of your members at a gym and asked them that same question, how do I get started? How many of them would be able to answer me in a clear way and in the same way? They should all give me exactly the same, almost word for word, right? Because remember, you've got members that signed up 3 years ago when it was just a jump into class and give it a go. And then you've got other members who signed up when they had to pay $100 for this intro on-ramp, and then you had to do this. And you've got other members who were drop-ins who signed up another way. And if they don't know how to do it, they can't help you, right? This is like having a really shitty salesman who has no idea about the product or how to buy it. Right? Every one of your members is a potential salesman for you. Right? I want to make sure that they actually understand the process to be able to help their friends, family, coworkers. Cool. So once we've simplified the process, we're going to make it really easy to educate our members. We're going to post a short video, 30 seconds is all it takes. And anytime we can use video, we use video. People watch videos. They don't always read emails or read posts or anything. So if you've got a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group or whatever, maybe your member management system has push notifications, whatever it is, you're going to put together a really simple post that says, hey guys, a lot of you have asked me how to get your friends, family, and coworkers involved. It's really simple, 3 steps. Boom, boom, boom. And then at the end of every class for 2 weeks, no exceptions, repetition is the name of the game here, you're going to finish the class with the same thing. Hey guys, before we finish, a lot of you have asked how to get your friends, family, coworkers to join. That's awesome. All they've got to do is, and then you're going to do that every single class, just for 2 weeks. Just drill it into them for 2 weeks, and then your members are good, all right? Who here backs what they sell? Who here believes in their product, right? Show of hands. Hopefully all those hands go, I'm really going to be upset. All right. Don't be embarrassed or insecure about giving your members permission to bring their friends to that. If you are selling dodgy secondhand vacuum cleaners, okay, maybe you should feel bad about asking them to tell their friends and family. But what you do is good. This is one of the few parts of the fitness industry that is truly good for people. So don't ever feel embarrassed or insecure about asking your enabling and giving permission to your members to bring their friends, family, coworkers. Cool? Educate your members. Next, facilitate the invitation, all right? This can be as simple as, we go physical here, all right? You can do digital, kind of like a digital invitation. It can work, right? But the more digital our world goes, the better little bits of physical work, all right? So at the lower end, at the simple end, you can just get postcards done that show exactly those 3 steps, how to get started. Or it might even be a physical invitation, right? Like a kid's birthday party invitation for grown-ups on how to get started. You've got a member who wants to bring in their friend. You go, cool, just give them this. Easy. At the higher end, it's a little bit more work, but I've been doing this specific strategy for over 20 years and it works incredibly, is gift cards. All right, proper plastic, just like you would find at the shops, real gift cards. They're a lot cheaper than you think. And whatever the cost of your onboarding process or your on-ramp process or however you do that first little bit with your members, that's the cost of the gift card. You sell them in your pro shop. I don't care if you never sell a single one. You're just selling them in your pro shop so that they actually feel like they have that value. And then if you have any members who, I've got this one guy at work who really wants to come in and try, but he's this close, I just can't get him across the line. You go, oh, awesome. Well, here, give him that. That might help. That facilitates that conversation because I think a lot of us think, because this is so normal to us, right? We're comfortable in gyms. We've been doing it a long time. A lot of people think that the referral process, that interaction is, hey man, do you want to try CrossFit? Sure, Ty. And then we link arms, skip down the road and do deadlifts together, right? But it's not that. We're humans, right? We work together and I've got to go up and go, hey man, you should get fit. I mean, not you should get, do you want to get fit? Do you want to come to my gym? This is a weird process, right? If I can facilitate that with something that is as simple as, oh, hey, my coach gave me this. Do you want it? It's a gift. It makes life a lot easier. So this step isn't 100% necessary, but if you want to make life really, really easy, it's good to do this. One big tip here, do not overuse it. All right, I've seen gyms where they'll print off a bunch of these, $250 gift cards, and then they'll put the whole box in front of the members and go, grab as many as you want. All right, that just destroys the value. No one uses them. It's a bit of a nightmare. Lastly, this is the most important part. This is all lead up. This is all preparation. The core of the system itself is the next part. Reward the behavior. So as you can see, our referral program, we call it the thank you program. All right, it's as simple as this. A member refers a friend, you find a personal and genuine way to say thank you, and that rewards the behavior. That's it. Now, does that sound like something that you probably should do anyway? Right? We're not trying to be tricky here. We're not trying to play business games. If a member brings another friend in and they join, should you pull them aside and say, hey, thank you so much. All right? You trusted me with your fitness. Now you're trusting me with their fitness, and you're both paying me and letting me live my dream. shake their hand, give them a hug, do whatever you guys do over here, right? And say thank you, right? That sounds just the right thing to do, right? We're gonna systematize that so that you never forget to thank someone. So the system for this is really simple. Once a week, every week, you print a list off of your referrals from the week before, people who signed up. If that list is empty, alarm bells start going off. I'm then going to go through that list, and every member who referred a friend, I'm going to find a personal and genuine way to say thank you within a budget, right? And that budget can be whatever you want, right? If you're dead broke, $0 is fine, right? Go up, look them in the eye, say thank you, make them a macaroni necklace, whatever, okay? Just say thank you somehow. If you've got a little bit more money, maybe it's half a month of membership or even a month's worth of membership max, and you're going to find something that you know about them, right? You know that over the pandemic they got into baking. Cool, jump on Etsy.com, find a kettlebell-shaped baking tin. It'll cost you $20. Give it to them and say, hey, thank you so much for bringing Sarah in. It means the world to us. I just wanted to get you a little gift to say thank you. All right. All the way up to, we've sent members on holidays. We've got members with kids. We've got them babysitters, sent them out for a night of dinner and the movies in a hotel. All right. Who here's got kids? All right. What would that mean to you if someone that you went to the business was like, don't worry about it. I've talked to your parents, they're going to look after the kids, movie, dinner. Are you probably going to stick around at that gym for a while? Are you probably going to want to tell everybody about that place? All right, so number one, the outcomes here. Have I said thank you? Have I done just the right thing? At a minimum, I've done the right thing, right? Number two, I've encouraged the behavior that I want to see. Right? It's like with kids, right? If you want them to do more of that thing, reward that behavior. Right? What we see is that person's chance of referring the next month is now double. And the more they refer, the more they refer. Because by the way, what I'm not doing here is giving them cash. And I'm not giving them a month of free membership that cost you nothing and they know it cost you nothing. And I'm not giving them a dusty t-shirt from the pro shop that you were going to give away anyway. That means nothing to these people, right? Nor should it. It kind of probably doesn't even mean that much to you. I'm finding something that really means something to them. I would much rather, spend $5 on a little trinket that I know we had a conversation 6 months ago about that new hobby of yours, right? Something personal, than give them 6 months of free membership. And I promise it'll mean more to them that you actually give a shit about them. Right? We're small businesses with a small membership. Lean into that. Cool. And then lastly, this spreads real quick. I said at the start that this is a cultural referral program. It becomes really just a part of your culture within a couple of months, right? Think about taking your shirt off at the start of the workout, slamming the bar, chalking your hands up, swearing when you miss a lift. Did anyone teach your members to do this? Did anyone sit them down with a list and say, oh, here's what we do here? No, right? They just absorbed that as part of the culture. They saw other people express a behavior that was positively rewarded, and they exhibited the behavior. So all of a sudden, I sent Stacy flowers at work as a way of saying thank you for bringing her friend in. She posted on Instagram. Other members see it. They go, why? Oh, because I brought a friend in. No one's doing this for gross reasons. If anyone here has ever done cash rewards, you've seen gross reasons, all right? That gets real gross real quick. All I'm doing is spreading gratitude, which is a pretty rare emotion and feeling in this world today. All right? I'm doing the right thing, and it spreads and becomes part of your culture. Cool? And that is the thank you program. Now, any thoughts, questions, queries, or doubtful points on that? We've got, I think, like 5 minutes to do that. Hit me. Yes, sir?
You said every week you go over the list.
Yes.
Would you always have them write down who they're going to refer and then go over it the following week?
Great question. Okay, so kind of big picture answer to this. One of the most important points of data that you need to track if you want more members is the source of those members. All right. So how did you hear about us? All right. I'm going to ask them as early as is appropriate. I'm not going to do it on the website form or something like that. I don't want to put it too early because every extra question you ask becomes a barrier to entry. But definitely when they walk through the door for the first time, maybe they're filling out their PARQ form or something like that, I'm definitely asking, how did you happen to hear about us, right? Because number one, if one of your members refers a friend, you want to know about it. Who here wants to thank their members, right? That's just the right thing to do, yeah? But also, even if you were doing paid marketing, we had a box in the US, they put a bunch of money into really shitty ads and they got a bunch of members, right? Or, enough members to justify it. And they went, whoa, that equals that. Oh, pour more money into these ads, right? And it didn't work again the next month. What they didn't realize is the next door neighbor had chopped down the tree that was covering the signage on the main road. And just coincidentally, that was at the same time as the Facebook ads. They got a bunch of walk-ins because of that. But because they weren't tracking the source, they had no trustworthy data, right? By the way, there is no going through this by feel. We're humans. We suck at doing things by feel, especially when it comes to data. If you can't print out a report and show me exactly the data, then we have no right to guess, right? And the same thing goes with source. So yeah, I have to track the source, especially the referrals, because it's so important. Yeah, great question. Any other questions, guys? Don't be shy. Yes?
Do you have the same experience with personal training?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Almost anything that works for these systems works for any fitness-based, service-based industry, right? So we do this a lot with jiu-jitsu schools, martial arts schools, yoga studios, all of that stuff, yeah. Not only does it work for personal training, it's even more important because it's one-on-one, it's a higher ticket item. These people really expect a lot more of a high standard of service, for sure. Cool. Yes, sir?
So, let's say I'm setting up a video message to shoot to a ex-member.
Yeah.
And I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
They have no idea who I am.
Yeah. So,
How to go about that?
yeah, you just play. What we don't want to do is pretend like, remember me? Because no, they get it. So usually it's, hey, it's Coach Ty from CrossFit ABC. I don't think we've met in the past, but I was talking to some of the other coaches today, and they were telling me how amazing it was having you in the gym. Blah blah blah.
Refer them to someone that you can see they have an accent with.
Yeah. So one question I get a lot is, should I get my coaches or different staff members to do this based on who they've interacted with? And the answer is absolutely not, right? You'll get good at this, but you're going to suck in the beginning, right? It takes reps. Some people it takes 5 or 10, other people it takes 20 or 30, and not everyone can do it, right? There's some brilliant coaches out there that have zero personality, right? Which is fine. They're great coaches, and that's their job. But the last thing I need is, hey, Danielle, it's been a long time since I've seen you, and we'd love, that's, the connection is what matters, yeah?
Probably be some retakes.
Yeah, be okay with retakes, right? Just out of interest, who here's ever seen my face before? Who's ever seen any of my videos or anything I've done in the past? Yeah, cool, couple people. Cool, that's humbling. So if you've seen my videos, all right, video is what I do, right? It's how I've grown this business. We've done over hundreds and hundreds of videos. What you don't see, Vaki's seen it too many times, is a normal video for me takes 15 to 20 takes to get right. And I've done it a lot and I'm okay at it. So don't get disheartened if you just can't get it. Don't get disheartened if you go, hey, it's CrossFit from Thai ABC. Shit, right? It'll just happen. Understand, like, always ask the question, why should I be good at this, right? If you're struggling with business, why should you be good at business? You've just started doing it, right? Most of us are white belts at business, right? That's just how it is. So don't beat yourself up over it, but understand that you're not going to get better unless you get the reps in, yeah? And also, please, just keep reminding yourself, this is worth it. If this one video message, if I can just get it right, and I get this one person back, what effect do I have on their life over the next 5 to 10 years? And then what financial gain do I get over the next 5 to 10 years? It's worth just pushing through and sucking it up. Yes, sir.
Have you ever included the members in the videos? If I have a member, I know he's
Yes.
friends with a zombie member, would you hey, we miss you down here, you want to come back?
Yeah, great question. So if I was going through this list and there just happened to be a member there, I would do that. I'm not going to try and line those up because that'll slow me down. One thing I do recommend, if you can, is to just have another coach or someone else around. So even if I know that you're over there working out, I'll just let you know, hey, I'm going to send a bunch of these video messages. I'm just going to reference you in the background, just give it a wave, all right? Because that makes it feel way more organic to be able to go, hey, it's Ty and Coach Johnny back there, and we're doing this. The more organic we can make it feel, the the more they'll be really open to watching the message. Like I said, if it's in front of a logo and it's really produced, they tend to close up a little bit. Yeah, great question. Awesome, guys. Happy days. Yep. 2 more questions. Yes.
Just one question on the invitation.
Yes.
I'm not 100% follow the gift card part. Would you put it up at display yourself, or
Yes.
Or how would it work?
Yeah, certainly. So the gift card, I apologize, I had to rush through some of these. So the gift card, I'm going to put in our pro shop, and it's going to be there for sale. So if a member wanted to, they could walk past and go, oh, I want to buy my friend, I want them to get into CrossFit, or I want my family member to get into CrossFit. I'm going to buy them an on-ramp program using this gift card. So they could pay you exactly that amount of money, right? And if they do, that's awesome. And if you do this, you will get that to happen every now and then. The reason I need it in my pro shop is if it says $150 on there, I need it to be worth $150, right? And the only way it can be worth that is if we all agree it's worth $150. That's why I said before, if you just start, if you go Oprah and go, you get a gift card, everyone gets a gift, that devalues it immediately. So keeping it in the pro shop is mostly theatrics, just so that we really establish this isn't a gimmick, right? This isn't a free pass. This is really a gift card worth $150 that I'm giving to you for free. Even when I give it to people, I don't just give it to them. Look, if they, do you reckon they'll really want to use it? All right, we'll give them this then. All right, I really want to maintain that value. Cool? Yes.
About the sending a video,
Uh-huh.
what media do you use?
So
Like
the,
Samsung iPhone, it doesn't work at all. It won't be a video. for
yeah.
example.
So for the zombie members, yeah, any medium you possibly can. So if you've got them on Facebook, send it on Facebook. If you've got them on Instagram, send it on Instagram, WhatsApp, yeah. Like worst case scenario, we've got everybody's email, right? Is it a bit weird and kind of left field for someone to get an email that just has a video in it? Sure. Can they become any less a member? No. I've had it work many times where you've sent an email with a video and it's worked, right? So it's not the easiest, but yeah, whatever I can do, like I said, VHS and catapult it into their house if you have to, just make sure it gets to them. Cool. Awesome, guys. So look, there's a million ways to get new members, all right? A lot of them are very resource intensive. Understanding your spheres of influence, understanding how hard it is to get these people, and more importantly, to keep these people long term, and how easy it is to get these people. It's free to get these people, all right? That will completely change things. My goal for most box owners is, unless you want to be an influencer, for the lols, I want you to get to the point where you don't need your Facebook, your Instagram, or any of that stuff. If you're getting enough people every week through referrals and ex-members, and your retention is really high, and your growth rate is doing this, chill out, all right? Focus on other areas of the business. Focus on being the coach that you just want to be. Focus on developing your team, giving more value to your members. But I want you putting as little effort into getting new members as possible, because what we do sells itself. All right, we just have to make sure the structures are there so that we remove any friction points so that it's easy for that to happen. Cool?